Foreign Affairs Secretary Teodoro Locsin Jr. says the Duterte administration isn't taking China's incursions into the West Philippine Sea sitting down despite President Rodrigo Duterte's friendship with Chinese President Xi Jinping. The country's top diplomat says since the president assumed office in 2016, the Foreign Affairs Department has filed over 60 diplomatic protests, and all of them were against China. Last month, Locsin ordered DFA to file a diplomatic protest after Chinese warships passed through Philippine waters without informing authorities.
When they tell me that there is an incursion or a violation of our rights, I fire off a diplomatic protest. I have changed the language of our diplomatic protest from the usual diplomatic niceties to direct protests. No nice words anymore, just objective ones.
Locsin says the DFA can share copies of the diplomatic protests with Congress since these are, quote, exclusively executive communications. But he asked to meet lawmakers in an executive session after the House Appropriations Committee's budget briefing to share what the president told Xi during their meeting in Beijing last week. Contrary to presidential spokesperson Salvador Panelo's statement, Locsin denies the president was apologetic in raising the international arbitral ruling on the South China Sea with Xi. The 2016 ruling by the Hague-based tribunal struck down China's sweeping claim over the South China Sea.
The report that the president was apologetic in raising the arbitral award, that's a total fabrication and in every aspect a complete lie. On the contrary, the president has, in my experience, in his visits to China, always raised the arbitral award.
While Locsin doesn't expect the maritime dispute in the South China Sea to be resolved anytime soon, he says the Philippines can continue working with China in areas of mutual interest, such as the exploration of oil and gas in the West Philippine Sea. Locsin assures the terms of the joint exploration deal with China are constitutional. He says private companies will be tapped for the project.
We're going to have to do it with China unless other people step up. The way Shell stepped up in Malampaya before, and Chevron. Our policy is this in my watch. We will never surrender a square inch of what we claim is ours. Now, I don't know what China wants to do about that, but that's their problem.
The Philippines and China have agreed to form working groups to discuss details of the joint oil and gas exploration following President Duterte's meeting with Xi in Beijing. Cian Arcangel, CNN, Philippines.